The larval stage is a very important phase in the black soldier fly farming process. However, it is also an extremely sensitive stage and can easily result in mass mortality if the farmer does not fully understand the care procedures. Many beginners often encounter abnormal larval deaths, leading to losses in quantity and cost. To minimize this situation as much as possible, we need to clearly understand the main causes of larval death and effective solutions. One of the leading causes of rapid death in black soldier fly larvae is their extremely high sensitivity to pesticides and chemicals. Even if the larvae consume only a very small amount of the chemical, they can die immediately. The main reason is the extremely fast feeding rate of the larvae. Within about 1 hour, a very large amount of food passes through their bodies. However, their nutrient absorption capacity is not high, so they must eat continuously to compensate. This characteristic makes the larvae highly vulnerable. When the food is contaminated with even a light level of pesticide, they still absorb enough toxin to cause rapid death. Therefore, when using fruits and vegetables as feed, they must never be fed directly. Many sources of fruits and vegetables on the market have unclear origins and may contain pesticide or plant protection chemical residues. These substances will cause the larvae to become sick or die en masse. The safe method is to ferment the fruits and vegetables with beneficial microorganisms, EM, before feeding. The second cause, and also one of the most common causes for beginners, is feeding the larvae food that contains a lot of starch or food with many spices from restaurants and eateries, specifically rice flour or wheat flour. Starch has a very fine texture. When the larvae are fed this type of food, it easily forms clumps like thick porridge and sticks tightly to the larvae's bodies. These starch clumps make it difficult for the larvae to move, and they may even become completely trapped. If too much is fed while the larval density is still low, they cannot process the amount of food in time, leading to increasingly larger clumps of food. Even though there is still a lot of nutrition inside the food mass, the larvae cannot access it to eat, eventually leading to suffocation and death. One very unpleasant characteristic of starchy food is that when it dries out, if you spray water to add moisture, the situation becomes even worse. The food becomes mushy, sticky, and clumps more severely. This environment is almost completely lacking in airflow, making the larvae even more likely to die, even though there is still plenty of food. They cannot go down to eat and become completely trapped inside that food mass. To remedy this situation, there are several effective methods that farmers can apply. First, if you have time for continuous care, divide the amount of feed into multiple small portions throughout the day. Each time, provide only a moderate amount, spread thinly and evenly on the surface. Wait until the larvae have nearly finished eating before adding the next portion. This method helps prevent excessive food accumulation and clumping. It is advisable to increase the larval density to a reasonable level. When the density is higher, they will automatically turn and mix the food, helping to break up the starch clumps and prevent trapping. The best way is to combine starchy food with types of feed that are high in fiber and have high porosity, such as soybean residue or brewer's spent grain. Adding soybean residue to the rearing environment will make it much looser and better ventilated. Larvae feeding on soybean residue will be highly active, self-mixing the biomass, which helps improve airflow and significantly reduces the risk of clumping. Another very common cause from restaurant and eatery waste sources is food containing a lot of grease and oil. Grease and oil form a sticky film on the surface of the food and the larvae's bodies, reducing their ability to move, obstructing respiration, and making it difficult for them to access the nutrients inside. High oil and grease content also strongly inhibits growth, significantly reducing the weight and survival rate of the larvae. In some cases, the mortality rate can reach over 90% in just a few days. Especially when a moist environment combines with grease and oil, the food easily undergoes anaerobic fermentation, generates heat, and produces an unpleasant odor, leading to the larvae suffocating or migrating away en masse. Many new farmers often use untreated leftover food directly from industrial kitchens, resulting in major losses because grease accumulates quickly. To address the issue of greasy food, first, minimize as much as possible the direct feeding of high grease waste. If it must be used, mix it at a low ratio, under 10 to 20% of the total feed, and combine it with loose, high-fiber materials such as soybean residue, coffee grounds, dried fruit peels, or rice straw to absorb excess oil and increase aeration. An effective measure is to ferment the greasy food with beneficial microorganisms, for 1 to 2 days before feeding. The microorganisms help break down part of the grease, reduce stickiness, and improve digestibility. The fourth common cause is larval death due to high temperature, also known as heat death. When the rearing density is too high, the larvae at the bottom are pressed down by the upper layers, leading to suffocation and strong heat generation. The accumulating temperature becomes increasingly high, causing them to be unable to tolerate it and die gradually. In practice, when rearing at high density, you can easily observe the phenomenon of larvae crawling to the top to escape the heat, while the bottom layer of larvae dies from overheating. In addition to the 3 main causes above, there are some other important notes that farmers need to master to achieve the highest efficiency. First, the nutritional regime for the larvae directly affects their reproductive capacity later on. If the feed for the larvae is rich in nutrients, they will grow large and plump, accumulating a lot of nutrients in their bodies. When transitioning to the adult fly stage, the flies will be healthier and lay more eggs. This determines the egg yield per batch. This is very important because adult black soldier flies do not eat but only drink water and focus entirely on reproduction. Regarding the harvesting stage, in the last 3 to 4 days before harvesting the larvae, you should stop adding water for moisture. At this time, allow the substrate to dry gradually to make sifting and collecting the larvae easier. Another extremely important note is the moisture level of the environment. Even if the larvae are hungry and lack food, as long as the moisture is maintained at an appropriate level, they will still stay in the tray and will not migrate away or die en masse. In addition, using beneficial microorganisms, to ferment the feed before feeding is a very effective measure. The microorganisms help the feed expand, become easier to digest, reduce the risk of clumping, and increase the larvae's nutrient absorption capacity. Finally, no matter which method you use for rearing, you must fully understand the entire farming process and strictly follow it. Only by correctly implementing the procedures, from feed selection, density control, moisture maintenance, to pre-harvest handling, can you achieve optimal efficiency and minimize the larval mortality rate as much as possible. In summary, rearing black soldier fly larvae requires careful attention and a clear understanding of the causes of death, as well as effective remedies. Once you have mastered this knowledge, you will feel more confident in the rearing process, minimize risks, and sustainably improve productivity.